Hello my dear students, welcome to the second class of the chapter Parallels and Meridians. Today we will deal with the topic meridians, but before going to this topic, let's revise what we have learned in our first video. We learned about the imaginary lines, right? We learned about the imaginary line that passed through the center called as axis. And the end point of the axis was named as North Pole and the South Pole. The imaginary line that runs from east to west was called as the parallels. And we said they are set of complete circles. And we learnt about the parallel which run through the middle of the earth's surface, that is equator, right? And we said that equator is the longest parallel which divides the earth into two halves. The top part is called as the northern hemisphere and the bottom part is called, the down part is called as the southern hemisphere. We learnt about the important features also. We learnt how the parallels are numbered. And we learned another important point, that was the important parallels. On the northern hemisphere, we said there are 90 parallels, as well as in the southern hemisphere we have 90 parallels, plus the equator we have 181 parallels in total. But we cannot learn all the parallels together, so we picked out certain important parallels and learned certain important parallels name. Now let's move on to today's topic, that is meridians. Okay, so let's see what are meridians. Meridians are the imaginary lines that runs from north to south. You can find the difference of the figures seen here with the parallel. It was running from east to west, but meridians run from where? From north to the south. Okay, they run from, the lines are drawn from poles to the poles. Those lines are imaginary lines, are called as meridians. Meridians are imaginary lines that runs from north to the south, and these are the lines drawn from poles to poles. Now let's see the important features of meridians. All the meridians are of same length. Now let's see the important features of meridian. The first feature is all the meridians are of the same length. You can see they are of the same length, right? Let's take the second feature. If we take any two meridians, the distance between these two meridians will be maximum. Let's see the picture here. If this is the equator, the middle line is the equator. You can see these are the meridians. If we take these two meridians, okay, or if we take just look at the picture, look at the figure here. If we take any two meridians, these lines are called as the meridians. The distance between the meridian increases. There will be maximum distance between the meridians when they are at the equator. But what happens when they move to the poles? What happens when they move to the poles? The distance between the meridian decreases. I repeat it once more. When they are at the equator, there will be maximum distance between any two meridians. Okay, but when they reaches the pole, when they move away from the equator towards the poles, what happens? The distance between the meridians decreases then. Okay, let's see once more the first point, that all the meridians have the same length. The second point is that the maximum distance between any two meridians is at the equator. When they are in the equator, there are maximum distance. But when the third feature is when they move towards the poles, their length, the distance between the equators, the distance between the meridian decreases. Can you see there? Okay, now let's move on to the next one. when the parallels, you can see these are the parallels, right? And these are the meridians. When the parallels and the meridians cut each other, when they cross each other, they always cut at a right angle, means a degree of 90. 90 degree is called as a right angle. So all the meridians, when they cut the parallels, they cut at the value of 90 degree, at the value of right angle. That is the fourth feature. Now let's move on to the last feature. Okay. Meridians are used to measure the distance in the east-west direction, which is the east side. This is the east side and this is the west side. So we find out the distance with the help of the meridians. The distance to the east and west are measured by the meridian. So these are the 5 features of meridians. The first feature was they are of the same length. The second feature is they are of the maximum distance when they are at the equator. When third point was when they reach the poles, what happened? The distance between the meridians decreases. The next point was when the parallels cut the meridians, they cut at right angle, means 90 degree. These are called as the right angles. Can you see? They are right angles. Okay. The last point was they are able to measure the distance in the east-west direction. Okay. Now let's move on to the next point. That is, how are meridians numbered? In the last class, we said that parallels, the numbering start from equator with 0 degree. But there were studies going on from where do the meridians numbering should start from. So in the year 1884, they fixed a place named as Greenwich in London. And they said that Greenwich will be the starting point of numbering the meridians. And they named it as prime meridian, and this prime meridian runs through this Greenwich. Okay, and they have given the value of 0 degree. Okay, so in 1884 the starting point of meridian was fixed, that was in Greenwich, and they numbered it as 0 degree and named it as prime meridian. So as we are started numbering for the parallels in the equator, in meridians we start numbering it from the prime meridian. Okay. So next point you have to learn in this is that we have said it earlier, all the meridians are of the same length and they have drawn at the same distance. Okay. If you want to move away from the prime meridian to the east or the west side, what happens there? We reach at the halfway round the earth, that is 180 degree. I'll repeat once more. If we move away from the prime meridian towards the east or towards the west, what happens? We reach halfway round the earth at 180 degree. It means that we have 180 meridians in the east side and 180 meridians in the west side. So in total we have 360 meridians. I'll repeat once more. When you move away from the prime meridian to the east or to the west, what happened? We reaches half of the earth, and that is 180 degree. So it means that there are 180 meridians in the east and 180 meridians in the west. Okay, so it makes a total of 360 meridians. So the numbering of meridians starts from the prime meridian. Towards the east we have 180 and towards the west we have 180. So in total we have 360 meridians. Is it clear to you? Now let's move on to the next point. All the meridians and the parallels form a network of lines. Okay, and they are called as grid. What they are called as? They are called as grid. All the parallels and the meridians form a network of lines. They are called as grid. What is the use of this grid? The use of this grid is to locate the places. Okay, the use of this network is to locate the places. How can you locate a place on a grid? We can locate the place on a grid by knowing the value of parallels and meridians. If you know the value of each parallel and each meridian, we can easily locate the place. They have said that whichever place, the point at which the parallel and the meridian meet, we can locate a place there. Maybe in the square you can locate, maybe in the place where they cross each other can locate. The point at which the parallel and the meridian cross each other or they join each other, we can say there is a place located there. Or maybe in the square it will be there. Okay, in any part of the square it can be there. So this is what is meant by a grid. Okay, network of lines by parallels and meridians are called as grid, and grid is used to locate the place. If you want to locate the place, simply you cannot locate the place. You must be knowing the value of each parallel and each meridian. Then only we can locate the place correctly. When they cross each other, when they join each other, that point we can locate a place. That is what is meant by a grid. Is it clear to you? Now let's move on. Let's check, revise whatever we have learnt. We learnt about meridians. Meridians are the imaginary lines that run from north to south. They run from point to point. And we learnt about the important features. We said that all the meridians are of same length. Then what did we learn? When it reaches the equator, any two meridians if we take, if they are at the equator, they will be of maximum distance. When they go to the poles, what happened? The distance between the meridians increase. The distance between the meridians decreases. Then we said that we can measure the east-west direction. Then we learned how the meridians are numbered, just like the parallels. Numbering starts from equator for the parallels, but in meridians it starts from prime meridian, and this line passes through the Greenwich in London. Okay, and we said that there are 180 meridians towards the east and 180 meridians towards the west. So total we have 360 meridians. Then we learnt about the grid also. We said network of lines of parallels and meridians are called as a grid, and grid is used to locate a place on a globe or on the earth's surface. Okay, now these were the things we learned. So in total we learned about the imaginary line axis, then we learned about the parallels, then we learned about the meridians, then we learned about the important parallels in that, right? And we learned about the prime meridian. These were the altogether we have sum up in this small figure. Now what you have to do is go through your chapter clearly, underline the important points, the points what I have said, the same point is there in your textbook, underline as you listen to the video. Next homework for you is in page number 18 and 19, do exercise letter A and B. Okay, it's just a fill in the blanks, maybe a multiple choice question. Just fill up and be ready with that. So after the video you will be getting the notes and the answer of these sections also. So you can counter check with that and learn the chapter clearly, read more than 2 or 3 times, underline the words and learn it thoroughly. Thank you, my dear children.